Welcome to tonight's post-national championship edition of the Clown Out Podcast. I'm Scott Burks. Please check me out at www.theclowntimes.net. That's Clown Spirit McKay. As you see on this hat here, is glare here. There it is. You can get the merch at cafepress.com. Search for the Clown Time Sports. You'll find hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mouse pads, and other stuff. Coffee mugs too. So anyway, just go to cafepress.com, search for the Clown Time Sports. You'll find it there as well. The link will be in the description of this video on YouTube. And two more things. Check me out on Facebook. When you're your smartphone, laptop, desktop, wherever you are, wherever it may be, just type in the Clown Times. Again, it's Clown Sport McKay. You can find me there as well. Just made some little sophomore comments here and there. I may have a thing or two to say about we're going to talk about later on tonight. And last but not least, please continue to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm close to 650 subscribers on YouTube. Trying to get to 1K so I can get monetized. Anyway, please continue to like, comment, share, subscribe. Even if you do not agree with anything that I or my guests will have to say to that, which highly believe that some of y'all will disagree. But anyway, that's not a hit nor there. Just comment, man. Vibe with us, we'll vibe back with you because in any event, you'll be glad you did, and I'll be glad you did. All right. Speaking of my guests, y'all know him from the yard, such as Few Sports, refs for all things HBCU sports, as well as Sleazy Radio every Tuesday night on Facebook Live and YouTube. And last but not least, please check out his great work on HeroSports.com as he writes about all things FCS athletics as it pertains to HBCUs. The man, the legend, Wayne Ash is back in the house. How you doing, sir?
Scott, I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
Good, good. So before we get to your hat, you got to explain to us all what's going on with your hat there. That's a funky logo.
Well, you know, man, I'm a big minor league baseball cap collector.
Right.
And this is the Trash City, the Rocket City Trash Pandas, a.k.a. Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
So, shout out to friend of the show, Mo. So this is the city where he covers Mo Carter, where he
Mo
covers
Carter, my
sports.
Man. Shout out to Mo Carter, yes.
So I thought I'd go ahead, rocking my support HBCUs, or support Black colleges hoodie. So I thought I'd go ahead and sport a fit that would pay homage to Mo and to the state of Alabama.
So what's the name of that team again? What's the name of the squad?
The Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Okay. That's in Birmingham or Huntsville?
Huntsville. I'm sorry. It's Huntsville. It is Huntsville.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for correcting me. And I know Mo was like, no, Bama, it's Huntsville. It's Huntsville. It's Huntsville, Alabama, because, of course, that's where NASA and their offices are. So, yeah, one of their stations are, yeah.
Are they double A or 1A?
Ooh, don't give me the line here, Scott.
Uh-oh.
Now I got to look that up.
Okay, never mind. Don't worry about it. shout out to Rocket City, Huntsville, Alabama, and which my wife is a fan of because of the Love and Marriage Huntsville show that comes on OWN network. Why did I promote that? I don't know, baby. All right. Speaking of,
they're double A.
Double A. There they go. Double A.
They're double A affiliate of the Dodgers, oddly enough.
Oh wow! There you go. Yeah. West Coast is deep south. How about that? All right. Well, this has been a crazy day in the sports world as far as news because of what happened yesterday.
Wait a minute, which one? Are you talking about the UFC purchasing the WWE? Is that what you're talking about?
That's later. No, I'm talking about you're a facetious young man. The women's national championship, right?
Okay.
All right. Well, first of all, unfortunately, not many people, most people haven't been talking about the great game that was LSU v. Iowa. They weren't talking about the head-to-head matchup. Well, not really head-to-head because they played different positions. Angela Reese from LSU, who's named the most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament, by the way. And Caitlin Clark, who's the second coming of Mr. P, who's only a junior. No one's talking about the crazy, wild shots that Caitlin Clark was draining. No one's also talking about the fact that both teams shot over 50% from the field, with LSU shooting over almost 65% from three. No one's talking about the valiant effort of Jasmine Carter, who led our scores, but I think with 22 points. No one's talking about the fact that Caitlin Clark had 30 points. And no one else is talking about that loud ass outfit that head coach Kim Mulkey was wearing for LSU. But instead, people are talking about the trash talking gestures seen and heard around. Okay. All right. Never mind the fact that the two young ladies in the center of this, Angela Reese and Caitlin Clark, like, never mind the fact that both of these young ladies have used it before. Never mind the fact that both these ladies exactly used the same gesture, obviously. Even different circumstances, doesn't matter, gesture is a suggestion. But the fact that you have grown men on Twitter calling Angela Reese a piece of shit, others calling her classless, others calling her trash, others calling her ghetto. We all know what those euphemisms are for. Okay? And never mind that some of those same dudes, again, grown dudes, 40s, 30, 40-some-year-old dudes, not minding what Caitlin Clark did. Me, I don't care about trash talk. I love trash talk. As a matter of fact, when Caitlin Clark did what she did against Louisville, when they were up by 16 points, okay, when she did it, I said, you talk your shit, girl. Talk your shit. And when Angela Reese did the same thing to Caitlin Clark, I laughed. Then I said the same thing, talk your shit, girl. I do not mind shit talk. To the point where me being a Steelers fan can appreciate the Baltimore Ravens of yesteryear who talked a whole lot of shit. And they backed it up usually. Sometimes at the expense of my Steelers. The point I'm trying to make is, why are humans so bad? why are some folks coming just why do this to college girls? What's the point of doing this? What's the point of doing this, Danny Cannell? What's the point of doing this? And there's many others out there like that, people who I respect, saying these things. So before I get myself in too much trouble cuss somebody out, what do you make of this whole thing?
Well, for once, I won't be cussing anybody out on this show, so that's a first. But I will say this: a couple of other things that you forgot in terms of things that won't be talked about that were remarkable as it pertains to not only the tournament but to the women's championship game itself. Viewership for the entire tournament has gone up.
Mm-hmm.
Viewership for the championship game almost hit 10 million, most ever for a women's championship game. Yeah. And there were remarkable matchups and big upsets leading up to the championship game. Again, all things that people won't talk about. You know, the University of South Carolina coming up short. The big upsets in the Final Four. The fact that in the Elite Eight for both the men's and women's, there were 4 teams that had representatives in both tournaments. All these things that won't be talked about, all because Angel Reese decided to mock Caitlin Clark in the blowout championship game against Iowa. Funny thing is, ESPN leading up to the game on yesterday, mm-hmm, on social media, billed this game as a trash talk matchup. Oddly enough, with clips of both Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark talking trash not only during the season but during the tournament to their opponents. Go figure, right? Oddly enough, one of those clips, right? Yeah, was of Caitlin Clark doing the "you can't see me" or face numbing, depending upon who you want to refer as to the originator of that move, be it John Cena or Tony Yayo of G
Tony
Unit
Yayo
fame.
did that. Yeah, Tony Yayo. Yeah.
Now, Jay-Z famously said, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song.
Right.
Let's be realistic. John Cena made it more famous.
Yes,
But
he did.
yes,
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Tony Yayo was
Shout out to him.
the guy that really put it on the map. That's really realistic about that. But I digress. And I found it funny that there was an argument about that today, too.
Lord
Either
Jesus.
way.
People just ignore facts, but go ahead.
Yeah, right. But either way.
Yeah.
With everything that happened
Mm-hmm.
in that matchup, even with the trash talking, everything. God, even Angel Reese wasn't even the highest scoring player on the team. She was the third highest scoring player on the team in yesterday's win. Again, doing the finger moment, the finger motion, pointing to the ring finger, championship ring, something that pro athlete, that athletes do when they win a championship. That's nothing
Right.
new.
Right.
The hand gesture, something that Caitlin Clark does. Again, nothing new.
And I have no problem with that.
Exactly, right. If you want to talk about things being unsportsmanlike, let's talk about Caitlin Clark's game as a whole. Now, as remarkable as her game is, averaging 32 points a game, scoring the most points ever within a single tournament, having 2 41-point games throughout this tournament. All remarkable things, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen highlights of Caitlin Clark and her shooting prowess, as dangerous as she is.
Right.
I'm sorry, when you start pulling 3-point shots closer and closer to the logo and to the half court line, you're showing off now, dog.
She did that to start the game. She like near the beginning of the game, she pulled up from damn near the logo and drained it all net. And I was like, whoa, I yelled out loud.
Exactly, right?
That was awesome. Yes, yes.
And that's a form of trash talking. So even in her game, she does it. My opinion on this whole thing is this. Matter of fact, remind me, Danny Kanell, he works for ESPN, right?
I think he did at one point, and he was at Fox Sports, but I think he may be back at ESPN. I'm not too sure, but go ahead.
Okay, all right. Because I was about to say, if he was at Fox Sports, that explains it all. My God, I never knew that even sports commentary has to be right and left wing based. And it shows a lot at Fox Sports, unfortunately. And my God, I swear. But I digress. If Kanell's even at ESPN, when his network is billing this game as a trash talk game, what are you beefing about, dog? That's how your network is marketing this game as a trash talk game. But the thing is this. Day one got beat. And you can look at it. I'm looking at this as the modern day Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird matchup.
Thank you. Yes. I was thinking about the same damn thing. I mean, it's
for those of us who are old enough to remember, or at least are willing to look back at history and remember that championship game between Michigan State and Indiana State, Magic versus Bird. Mm-hmm. This is, in my opinion, the current reincarnation of that game. As remarkable of a player as Caitlin Clark was, coming from a Midwestern school, just like Larry Bird, right? Facing a white player coming from a Midwestern school like Iowa and Indiana State. Matter of fact, if my U.S. geography is correct, aren't they neighboring states?
Who is this?
Iowa and Indiana.
No.
They're not? Well, there you go.
Yeah.
DC Public Schools, hard at work. There you go. Because I'm not blaming that on A&T.
There you go.
But either way, two Midwestern schools in Iowa, Indiana. Mm-hmm. Very similar. Larry Bird, known for his shooting prowess, just like Caitlin Clark. Facing a team that's billed as being led by Angel Reese. You know, power school coming from a
Mostly
state,
black, yeah.
you know, mostly black. Baton Rouge and Lansing aren't necessarily big cities
Right.
either, you know, but even still, you have these two institutions, these two players coming head to head, very reminiscent of Bird and Magic, and they won lost in terms of Caitlin Clark. And in the
Right.
process of her losing, she was being taunted as well with her very own taunt, and they did not like it. Had Caitlin done it in a blowout win against LSU,
No one would have said shit.
no one would say the word
No
would
one
not be
said
said.
it.
No, because the word wasn't said when Louisville lost to Iowa when she did it then. A word wasn't said when she's taunted other teams throughout her entire career, and everyone just looked at it as great basketball. And it's odd, like you just said, that men have been coming out and attacking Miss Reese about her actions.
Yes.
When it's these same men, in the case of Danny Cadell, who probably trash talked during his collegiate career as well.
And that's what I want to say about that, brother. It's like he played at Florida State at the highest level and was a damn good quarterback in the ACC and played some in the NFL. But the point is, don't you think he and his teammates talk a little trash to Miami?
A lot of
Florida,
trash. A lot of
Clemson,
trash.
to Carolina,
a lot of trash. Yes.
to Virginia when they were good. Come on, son. Come on, son.
So yeah, like I said, it's laughable that once again, unfortunately, and I hate when things are about race, but my God, if this isn't a glaring case of exactly what that is, what else is it?
Here's the saddest part about that, man. We have, and folks who try to defend their bias, let's just call it bias for a minute. For those folks who are trying to defend their bias, they tried to, as part of the rationale, get this, give different degrees of shit talking. Now, for example, I've seen this all over Twitter. You got motherfuckers saying what Angela Reese did was that, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's a common thing. She did it after the game was decided, the championship game. Act like he won it before. That's LSU's first fucking national championship. It's their first one. They in their defense, they know how that because they've never been there before. And secondly, shit talk is shit talk. Period. I don't know why people don't understand that shit. Shit talk, it doesn't matter if you're doing it towards a person, place, or thing, like a noun. It doesn't matter if you're doing it to a bitch or to the fucking floor. It's trash talk. It's trash talk. Period. End of motherfucking discussion. I don't understand why these people go to these lengths to defend their biases. I mean, do they think that we're idiots? Do they really think we're idiots? I mean, okay, let's just go back in time, shall we? Okay, okay, first of all, Stephen Curry. He talks a lot of shit. Do people complain about him?
No.
No. Okay, let's go back some more. Gary Payton. We all know how big of a trash talker he was. Did people complain and call him classless and ghetto? No, they did not.
Oh.
Okay, let's just go back a little more. Michael Jordan. Most people's GOAT, not mine, but most people's GOAT. My GOAT is Magic Johnson, but that's another story for another time.
Ran his mouth. And see, to your point, right? To your point.
Did people say anything about him?
No. And I find it funny that it's excused for men, but not for women. And primarily in this particular case, a black woman,
right,
that just happens to beat a white woman and trash talked her the way that she trash talks.
And speaking of white, There's one more for you. For those of you who are men of a certain age, like around our age, or in their 30s. The biggest trash talker of all time in all the sports, Larry
Legend.
Bird.
Yes.
Who told you where he was going, what move he's going to put on you, what shot he's going to take, and make it 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
The man who yelled at Isaiah Thomas about having one of his white teammates guard him.
Yeah.
The same Larry Bird who went to his last 3-point shootout in his sweats, in his warm-ups, when he drained his last few shots to win it, pointed and walked away while the shot was in the air. No one said shit about that. That's trash talking. And before that 3-point contest, reportedly, he asked, he asked in the statement, Dale Ellis and a few others who had participated in the 3-point contest, which one of you motherfuckers
So y'all come in second place. Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's the thing, right? So it's it's another way to not only attempt to keep women in their place, but another attack on African American women.
Yes.
Because apparently women can't trash talk, but it's okay for Caitlyn to trash talk, but she can't be trash talk too. Right. You know, you talk about it's about blowing out teams, but we just talked about how Iowa blew out Louisville.
And you know what's funny part about that? Again, I have no problem with any trash talk. I love what Caitlyn Clark. I love her game. I love her. I don't have any problem with her game or her trash talk. None. I don't think you do too. The point is that the ironic part is she did that towards a Louisville player who's known for her trash talk. I mean, you can't make any of this shit up. So the point is people, let's get real. Stop thinking that we're idiots. And just call for what it is. It's bias. It's straight bias. It is what it is. I mean, if you try to not legislate, but if you try to rationale have different degrees of trash talking, you're confirming your bias. You're trying to confirm your bias. Because as if there's different levels of trash talk. I mean, if my teammate gets in a fight, and if I take the guy and throw him off my teammate, that's both counts of assault. That's still assault. You put your hands on somebody. That doesn't make what I did less wrong than what he did. We're both going to get in trouble for assault.
Exactly, right?
It's and the thing is, at least trash talk is not against the law. That's the whole point.
And see, to your point about, the different degrees or the varying degrees as it pertains to different types of crime, they do it based upon the punishment. That's the only reason why it's done.
Yeah.
For the punishment that's going to be levied against the criminal.
Right.
They're not criminals. So why are you even coming out with varying degrees of trash talk? This is insane. It is insane. Oh my God, you can do this, but you can't do that. And Angel Lee stepped over the line when she did the exact same trash talk.
Yeah.
The only difference is she did it to Caitlyn Clark in the championship game.
Yeah.
So you're telling me it would have been better had she done it in the quarterfinal rounds? Is that what you're telling me? Since now, if the argument is now the degree of trash talk or when it happens or whatever, if that's what your argument is, that's what you're telling me apparently. So has she done it in the opening rounds to whomever? It's fine. I mean, something that she actually did do. Yeah, because again, this game was billed by ESPN as a trash talking game by those two stars. I don't want to believe at this point because it's asinine, and it's asinine even more so because all it did was just show how men once again are looking to find ways to dictate to women how they should be who they are. That's exactly what, especially in this case, black women.
Black women, I would say, yeah, especially black women.
You need to, this is your place. stay in your place.
Right.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. I would say it's disgusting, but I mean, we've seen this shit before.
Yeah. Doesn't make it any less disgusting.
No, I know.
You know,
You're
whenever I
absolutely
see
right.
a dog eat their own shit, it's still disgusting to me.
Right.
And that's we see it often.
Yeah.
Still disgusting. I mean,
Still disgusting.
I don't understand why they do it. It has to be a reason why they do it. And they have their reasons, but it's still nasty as hell to me. So yeah, it's still disgusting that to this day, especially when former athletes try to come out and attack her, and then
which is ironic in of itself. Yeah,
which is ironic in and of itself. And then number two, for someone who has never won a championship in their life, junior high school, rec league, college, or pro, to tell a champion to act like they've done it before.
Yeah.
If you don't get on my face.
Yeah.
But you know what the sad thing is, I'll probably end up saying the same thing later on in December during the Celebration Bowl. When somebody ends up doing something and I'm like, yo, act like you've done this before, dog. Yeah, I'm gonna end up doing the exact same thing. But the one thing you won't see me do, you won't hear me saying it about women. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, no, no. But you'll hear me say that to another dude, though.
There you go. Well, one last thing, man, about this part of it, with the discussion. You saw where the first lady, Jill Biden, wants to invite both squads to the White House, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's remarkable. Thank you, Jill. She gets it. And the funniest thing to me is that neither player had a problem with it as it pertains to one another. Neither player. Caitlyn didn't have anything negative to say about Angel. Angel had nothing negative to say about Caitlyn, but her defense was, you've called me names all throughout the season. You basically called me ghetto all year long. You're coming out against me because I did something within the moment to celebrate as trash talk and celebrating our win. It is what it is. I don't play for you. I play for my team. I play for LSU for championships.
Well, I mean, I get First Lady Biden wanted to make it a positive moment, but to me, I guess that's kind of beat the dead horse a little more. And you know what I'm saying? Like have Biden the runner up that got that got beat down, but that's not it. The point is, it is what it is. Moving on from there, but before we move on, I'm gonna give some shout out to my sponsors, BetUS.com, right quick. So listen up, sports bettors. Your favorite books, sports book. BetUS.com is back for their 28th year of NFL action. The industry's biggest sign-up bonus up to 200%. BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, UFC, and MLB, college basketball too. If you're looking for live in-game betting, incredible odds, daily odds, boosters, props, and parlays, they got them. And how about fast payouts with exceptional one-on-one customer service? They got that too. So log into bet2us.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. You can use the promo code TKT for Clown Times as well. BetUS.com, where the game begins. All right, man. Excuse me. Before we move off of this segment of the national championship, women's national championship, I'll say this, man. You mentioned the big ratings. I mean, I'm glad that they put this, excuse me, to what's what I'm trying to say? Not cable, but
they took the game from ESPN, the championship game from ESPN, where it traditionally was, over to ABC. Yes.
Yeah, more over the air network or whatever. But you created more exposure instead of having it on like TBS and TNT and all that. Or in the women's case, ESPN and ESPN too.
Yeah.
But man, this cool that it pulled in a bigger number, probably gonna pull in a bigger number than the men's national championship tonight. We'll get that to that in a moment. But the fact remains is, man, not that women's college basketball wasn't here to stay anyway. They arrived to me, they arrived long ago. But it's cool to see the women get the shine that they get like this. Now, I don't know if this is the most watched women's national championship game ever. I don't have the stats in front of me. I don't have the numbers in front of me in terms of viewership. It has to be up there though. But to see the awesome play, the awesome display of skill, athleticism from these young women, to see coaches with personality in the sport that could that not supplant that could accompany ones like Gino Auriemma. We talk about a shit talker. And Kim Mulkey, like I said, Kim Mulkey with a loud ass attire, Dawn Staley, her outspokenness, and there are plenty others out there. It's good to see the women get their shot, is what I'm trying to say. And to me, with I think Angel Reese is coming back next year. And I know for sure Caitlin's coming back. She's a junior this year, this past year. The women's college game, man, for next year, and the trend that is going, it's going to be bananas next year for the women, man. So many great teams. Like I said, personalities, and to me, it's gonna just as a butterfly effect, it's gonna affect the WNBA because you're gonna get these young stars transitioning into the next level, and that brings more eyeballs because they're watching these young women. Most of them stayed past 3 years of college, except for Aaliyah Boston, who's declaring after her junior year. But the point is that the sports fans know who these women are. They know the Angel Reeses. They know the Caitlin Clarks. They know the Aaliyah Bostons. And there's other stars out there. So to me, if anything, ESPN, the family of ESPN's family of networks that includes ABC, they're going, woo, thank you for the pub. Thank you for the controversy, because that drew eyeballs. And that's going to spur interest going forward. So shout out to the women's game. I enjoyed watching the national championship yesterday, and I'm looking forward to next season, brother.
But yet, to your point, it's wonderful that viewership has gone up, attendance has gone up. Yeah. Everyone seems to be winning from this, but the women and the institutions because of it. Yeah. I'm reading an excerpt from this article here on NBC Sports. Of course, something that if you pay attention to collegiate basketball, we already know this. Men's conferences get a unit value this year at $338,210.96 for each NCAA tournament game win by one of their teams.
Right.
It says this money goes to each team's conference paid out over 6 years, with a true value around a little bit over $2 million. Can you guess how much money the women get for their tournament wins?
I'm afraid to ask, but I'll let you say it because I'm about to get probably a little upset about that. But go ahead.
Zero.
Oh shoot.
Zero. Not a damn dime. And a lot of these contracts, not only with the television deal, but with NCAA, it's being done at the detriment of the NCAA. Now, if you ever get a chance, I've made peace with the homie Bomani Jones after our incident a year or two ago. He did a wonderful job talking about the disparities of revenue that is generated, especially as it pertains to the women's basketball tournament, and the fact that they just got the right to refer to their tournament as March Madness as late as last year, which is also insane. But yeah, the amount of money's lost, not only by the respective teams and conferences, but by the NCAA themselves, spiting their own face, but by cutting their own nose off, and not giving the young ladies and their teams the money that they deserve and they earned with the amount of viewership in which they've generated. It's insane, bro. It's crazy. But that's a whole nother story for itself, within itself.
Well, hopefully I keep saying hopefully one day, but I mean, I'm just going to focus on the positive, that the women's game is it. And time for a lot of those same old ass cats that talk unnecessary shit earlier to recognize. So we'll just leave it there. All right, man, we'll close the show out on this. what seems to be the undercard, and what seems to be the I don't want not the wet blanket because it is a national championship game as well. It seems like the what's it called that anyway I forget the term. The point is this: the men's national championship, UConn, San Diego State getting there on a buzzer beater. Too bad not many people care to watch it. And UConn making work of Miami. So who you have tonight? Upstart San Diego State or the blue blood UConn?
I got UConn. I mean, they've looked extremely
I do too.
dominant going, throughout the entire tournament, and their games haven't been close whatsoever.
Right.
Especially in the past few rounds, it just has not been close. So I'm just expecting them to come through and kind of make light work out of San Diego State. But kudos to them, and also kudos to Florida Atlantic. That Conference USA, my God, they had a team win the NIT.
Mm-hmm.
God, what's the other tournament that exists? I forget what that's called now because they've done away with the CIT and all those other ones. But whatever tournament that was that North Texas just won.
NIT, the NIT.
Well, not North Texas. It was another Conference USA team to win a tournament.
No, but go ahead.
But yeah, so you would have had if Florida Atlantic would have made it to the finals, you would have had 3 Conference USA teams to make it to the finals of 3 men's tournaments in the same year. But the fact that you had them in the Final 4, in my eyes, is big enough coming out of Conference USA. But shout out to San Diego State. I know the city of San Diego most definitely is loving what's going on out there right now.
Sure.
But unfortunately, UConn's going to ruin their night tonight. But I will say this: don't listen to a word I say. I've been saying some things all wrong throughout the entire tournament. Bruh, I literally said from the Sweet 16, hey, there's going to be a number 9 seed to advance to the Elite 8.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be Florida Atlantic, though.
Oops.
Oops.
Oh,
hey,
man.
South Carolina versus Iowa. Good team versus good player. I'm going to take the good team.
I was so wrong on that. I did a TikTok, apologize to Caitlin Clark and Iowa fans. I was so wrong on that. I thought that South Carolina was going to mop the floor with them, but goes to show you how, again, you got to watch the game. They play the game for a reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we should learn that lesson from the men's tournament alone, but, it is what it is.
But yeah, shout out to the homie, what's his last name? Jordan, that plays with UConn.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his last name. Hold on.
He's out of PG County, went to DeMassa High School, which is right around the corner from the crib. He's balling out for UConn. So I'm really rooting for more so him. Because I love rooting for DC area cats to do well. And again, that along with the fact of how UConn has looked throughout the tournament, I'm most definitely leaning towards UConn.
That would be Jordan Hawkins.
Jordan Hawkins, yes. Did you hear about how he got his first name?
Please don't tell me it's off the MJ.
Of course it is. But it's because his dad, who's a big Kobe fan, wanted to name him Kobe.
Oh.
But Mon Dukes wasn't having it, so Jordan was the next best thing.
There you go.
There you go.
And by the way, UConn is up on San Diego State 16-10 early in the first half. There's 10 minutes left in the first half. So check that game out, y'all.
Yeah, but before we go real quick, I gotta say shout out to the HBCU All-Star game that also happened yesterday as well. Unfortunately, it was going on at the same time as the women's championship game. Ooh. So if you didn't get a chance to check it out. It was on CBS. So that means it's a high possibility that you might be able to get a replay on Paramount Plus.
Right.
So check it out. But shout out to the MEAC and the CIAA, also to North Carolina A&T, Tennessee State, and Hampton, which formed Team Barnett, which is named after Dick Barnett, the former NBA player that played collegiately at Texas, well, what used to be Tennessee A&I, which is now Tennessee State. That team ended up beating the SWAC/SEAC team named Team Reed, after, of course, the great Willis Reed. And oddly enough, both Barnett and Reed won championships for your beloved Knicks.
That's correct.
Shout out to the All-Star games and to the young men that played in that game. And again, shout out to Team Barnett for that big win that they got yesterday. It's technically the third annual All-Star game, but it's the only second one played because, of course, the first one was supposed to take place during COVID year. That never happened. They never really got off the ground, but they still named the team that year anyway. So shout out to the organizers of that game, man. I know they've been trying to get me to come out to that game. Chances are I'll probably make it out there next year. Since it's going to be out in Phoenix, Arizona. I got family out there, so I'm going to go ahead and try to check them out. I thought I'd go ahead and shout that out real quick. And shout out to Omos from the WWE, the former Morgan State basketball player that's now in the WWE, that appeared in his second WrestleMania this past weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Another L, though. He lost again. But it's his second WrestleMania. It's something that a lot of wrestlers don't get an opportunity to do. And for him to be a guy that's only been wrestling for about 2 or 3 years on the big level, to be in his second WrestleMania is pretty big for him. And I had to shout him out because, of course, he's another HBCU alum.
Of course, that's dope. That's totally dope. Speaking of which, where can people find your great work on HBCU coverage and everything?
You can go ahead and find me at the Yard HBCU on social media, and of course at herosports.com. It is now spring football time. Teams have been playing their spring games, so I've been peeking here and there to check those out. And also shout out to the homies down in North Carolina A&T this past weekend. They had their first ever HBCU X Games. Yes, that X Games took place down in Greensboro, North Carolina for the first time ever. And shout out to them for getting that thing off the ground, man. I'm hopefully I get a chance to speak with them about their event and how everything went down with that. Hopefully, the weather didn't affect them too tough down there for this past weekend on that too. But I had to go ahead, most definitely shout them out too.
Nice. All right. X Games. Okay.
That's what I said when they hit me up. Yo, we about to do X Games. X Games? Yo, okay, that's dope right there. Yeah, let's go.
So, y'all, all the links to his great work, theyardhbcu.com is in the backdrop, herosports.com, be in the description of this video on YouTube. So please check out his great work. This brother's doing great things. He and a lot of other folks too, like the great Mo Carter. Oh, of course, the great Mo Carter, Jamie. But the point is, Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy Walker. Hey, it's a lot of them out there.
A lot of them. See, so please check these brothers out, and this brother too, of course. And also, please continue to check me out, www.theclowntimes.net. Please do like, comment, share, subscribe. Merch, cafepress.com, search for Clown Time Sports. All those could be in the description so you can find everything that you need there. So until next time, enjoy tonight's national championship game with Ben, Team UConn, or Team San Diego State. So next time, take care. Peace out, y'all.